Hello, this is Will Timpson with CAD Craftsman. I wanted to make a video showing some of the tips and tricks for using SOLIDWORKS macros to swap out settings that you will need to for using Steel Designer Pro. This background here, as you see, is very dark, as that's how I prefer to work. For doing illustrations and things like that, however, you would rather have a light background. You can easily swap those back and forth using a SOLIDWORKS macro. I have placed the toolbar up here and I want the background to be white, and there it swaps it out. SOLIDWORKS allows you to place the location for the macros, file locations, macros. Just put them somewhere where you can find them, and that's where you're going to want to save all of these macros. You can access the macros under Tools, Macro, or View and Toolbars, and put the macro toolbar somewhere where you'd like it. Keyboard shortcuts also work as well. So now with a light background, you can easily see what's going on here. If I'm going to do an illustration, then I'm going to place something on a drawing. I also have a darker background for the drawing. If I want to swap back and forth, I can record another macro, and all it's doing is recording the inputs. I'm going to Options, Colors, Drawing, Paper Color, and I want to edit that color and turn it to white. Okay? And when I'm done changing the settings, I stop the macro. And that now is just drawing sheet white. And it's saving it in the location. Now you usually do these macros in pairs. So I'm going to record another one and swap it back to the way that I prefer for it to be. So drawing, paper color, edit, just a little bit off white. And now stop the macro. Drawing sheet. Dark. Now, by running these two macros, I can swap back and forth, and when I go to do a picture of this for doing an illustration, it shows up much better. Likewise, I go to put a dimension on here. This is a driven dimension, and it comes in by default a light gray color. I would like that to be a much darker dimension so it will show up in the snip. Recording another macro, and again under colors. And this is dimensions, non-imported driven. Edit that and turn it to black. Okay. Stop the recording, and that's driven dims black, and obviously I've recorded this one already. I'll just save over it. So now anytime I go to put in a new dimension, it shows up as black. And likewise under normal drawings, you'll have the driven dimensions are going to be tan or some other light color, lighter color. So I hope that those three, the background color, the drawing paper, and the driven dimensions, help you out with creating the illustrations that you're going to need later on for creating connections and other component interfaces.